the awesome
Teen Challenge.
Oh my God. You must be wondering, what is Teen Challenge all about?
No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rise against me shall fail.
Well, you're going to stay tuned. You're going to hear more. And who do I have right beside me?
My name's Linda.
I'm George.
I'm Dave.
I'm Edmund.
And I'm Ben.
Wow, amazing. These people are on fire for the Lord. So I'm going to go over to you, Edmund. Tell me, what is Teen Challenge about?
Teen Challenge is a global faith-based rehabilitation center where we're in over 100 countries in the world. They not only have residential rehabilitation centers, but we also have outreaches within each country. And basically it's a vehicle for God to take people out of darkness and bring them into his glorious light.
So, Edmund, how did you actually get involved with Teen Challenge? Tell me a bit about your history.
I was somebody that I was trapped in addiction. I'd been in addiction for a number of years. I didn't want to hear what I was being told. My life was falling apart. And my partner was listening to Premier Radio in London, and there was an advert for Teen Challenge, and she'd been telling me about, listen, you need to go to this place to help yourself and get clean. And initially I didn't want to go, but the fear of losing her love, the fear of losing somebody that I cared for so much, was the vehicle that God used for me to give it a chance and to go to a place where I felt all I needed to do was get clean from drugs. But God had a very different plan for my life.
Wow. So when your partner heard the advert on the radio, she came to you and told you
I needed to go.
Wow.
And initially, as I said, I fought the idea because I didn't want to go to rehab, and I didn't want to go to a Christian rehab. But when I went there initially, I fought the program. I fought everything that it stood for until I met God. You know, I literally met God.
Wow.
And that was the beginning of my journey with the Lord. So what he did was he took away all the fear I had, the shame I had, the guilt I had, all the negative thoughts that I had about myself and my past, and helped me to see that I had a future if I was willing to just trust him.
My shield, my shelter, Savior and Master. Oh my God! Oh my Father, He reigns forever. Because He lives. Yes, because He lives. I can face tomorrow. I can face tomorrow. Life is worth a living just because He lives. So tell me why I will get me when He supplies all I need. Because He lives, all my fear is gone. So tell me why I never do shakara. Oh my God, Jesus. So tell me why I never do shakara.
Just trust him, to trust that, you know, he was real. God showed himself to me. He wasn't an idea. He was a real person who loved me and who cared for me and who had a plan and a purpose for my life. And Teen Challenge was a place where, over the time that the program takes, it gave me an opportunity to not only get clean, but to get right within my head, my body, soul, and spirit.
Wow.
And to start making the kind of choices that I'd not had the strength to do before.
Wow. So that is just amazing testimony, Edmund. So, Linda, tell me something about yourself.
Okay, my name is Linda and I'm originally from Bournemouth, and I've been actually battling with drugs for 20 years.
Wow.
I started off, I've come from a good family background. My mum and dad are still in my life today. They've always cared for me, but it was kind of, I was driven by a desire to earn money. I chased money, I chased a career, and it was all about my image and how I looked. and getting that approval off of people, you know, and from that, you know, because nobody starts off being a drug addict, you know, it spiraled from there, from going out, from partying, clubbing, and with that came party drugs, and it was, you know, at the time it was all very irresponsible, you know, I wasn't really taking care of the things I needed to take care of, you know, like my finances, my health and things like that, and also my job, you know, and I ended up losing my job, and lost job after job, but I still had this drug habit, you know, that it was like I had to maintain it just to feel normal, and from there I kind of, you know, started taking harder drugs. I was taking them more regularly. I was becoming dependent on them, you know, and all the time I was doing this, I was wasting away inside, you know, so like the looks go, the car goes, the money goes. My family just about hung in there, but they became very ill. Wow. You know, and it was kind of like I've battled with trying to get clean for other people, trying to, you know, do it on my own back. I've tried about 20 different rehabs.
Wow.
So almost like one a year. And I got to the point where I was at the end of myself. You know, I had no hope. I just run the course, and I thought, you know what, there's nothing left for me. I've tried this, I've tried that. And it was only then, really, that I actually could experience God's power, you know, and meet with Jesus in such a way that I knew that there was going to be hope there, and there was a glimmer of hope.
This is a praise addict song. No more drug addict or alcohol addict.
Addicted to the place and the bass and the beat. Raising a hand and the praise and the dance and the really wanna be. Mountains to sing, rivers to clap. Praise check continually, be in my mouth. Power, riches, wisdom, strength, honor, glory, blessing. Bungalow, Ramadan, I like it. Learn that was late, learn that you just on the beat. Ramadan, to your praise and the bass and the bass to the beat, that's the bass to the beat.
You know, and it's been an amazing journey, because 2 years ago I entered the Teen Challenge Ladies Programme in Wales. Okay, and it's just been an amazing journey, because, you know, rather than cover up and sort of plaster over the issue of the drug problem or the identity problem, it actually gets to the root of who I am in Christ and who I am as a person.
And you know what? I got this flood of peace fall over me, fall into me, and just say to me words to my heart saying, yeah, give up. You give up and I will give you your life back. You know, and I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know the gospel. I didn't know, you know, about if you cling to your life, you will lose it, but if you give up for me, you'll receive it. I didn't understand any of that, but I knew in that moment that when I cried out on my own, in my flat, on my knees to God, he came and he met me exactly where I was at. You know, and like Edmund said, you know what, you don't have to come in any certain way. You come as you are. Do you know what I mean? You come as you are, and he will meet you in your time of need. You just cry out to him and he will meet you, you know, and I did that in desperation, and he met me. And from then, you know, I was still using the next day, but from that time, paths started open, new paths, new people in my life started, Christians started to come into my path. Amen. The God channel kept turning on when I was like, what's going on? Like, you know, it was just crazy. And for the first time ever, I had this glimmer. It was a tiny glimmer, a mustard seed of hope. It was like, I had faith that, you know, something was going to change. I didn't know what, I couldn't see it, I couldn't understand it, but I had this hope that was just planted inside me. And from that day, 2 years ago, you know, I met with an outreach worker who you know, she worked with me for about a year, about a year, just guiding me through the process of applying for Teen Challenge, you know, I delayed it quite a lot. I gave her a lot of, back chat. I had a bit of an attitude, and she really stuck by me. She persevered with me, and I thank God for women like that, and for women that are, and women and men, that are just doing the Lord's work, that are going out there and spreading the good news that there is life after this death. You know what I mean? That you feel so dead inside that you don't want to live. That there is life after that, and she was. I was doing the interview process for Teen Challenge. It's the Women's Centre in Wales, and. I remember saying to God, if I've done lots of different treatment centres in the past, secular ones, and they're great. They offer a temporary freedom, they offer a solution to a certain extent, but they didn't get to that root that Jesus gets to, that inner bit that you need to dig out. They don't. He doesn't plaster it. You know what I mean? That he actually gets to the root of the problem. So. I went to Teen Challenge and it's just been an amazing journey, because I've really started to, just when you let go, you surrender, and you let go of all your hopes, your dreams, your past, the guilt, the shame. He takes it all. He's taken it all for us. He's taken it all for us on the cross, and by his stripes we are healed. And I've had healing in my life, and it's ongoing. The process is not always pleasant, but I have hope and I have joy in my heart, which I've never experienced before. And it's like, no matter what's going on, stuff happens, life happens, you know what I mean? Things go wrong. That is life, but when you've got Jesus in your life and he's leading you and he's guiding you, he's protecting you and he's shaping you, I'm a new creation now. I'm not that person I was. I don't have to live that life. I don't have to go back to it. Like Edmund said, it's a choice. We choose. We have freedom to choose now. And it was a revelation to me that it was like, I don't have to choose that life. I can actually choose life.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
So it really did help heal the hurts. They walk you through, every area of this, like Edmund said, you're spiritually, you're mentally, you're physically, you're emotionally. It's about restoration in all those areas. And Teen Challenge really offered that opportunity to get to know who I was and to have that life
That's amazing.
that's meant to be there for
So
me.
they're not just dealing with the drugs; it's the holistic
It's the
feature.
deep issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so amazing. It's sad what you've gone through, but it's like God has taken you through that
Yeah.
journey so you can now help others.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing
Yes.
now at the Leadership Academy.
Wow.
So yeah.
You've heard it here today. It's just been amazing. And I just want to point out, it is called Teen Challenge, but it's also for adults as well. So
That's just how it started out.
Yes.
Initially, it was for teenagers in America, in New York, and it branched out. And what happened was that they just came to see that there was a huge need.
Yes.
Initially, it was teenagers that the person who started it, David Wilkerson, who has now gone to be with the Lord, he saw a great need within teenage gangs in New York, and that spread to adult gangs and just to people in general.
Yeah.
And then God being so good, he has caused the ministry to spread to such an extent that, as Annette just said, you don't need to be a teenager to go to Teen Challenge. What you need is to be willing to change your life.
Come on, that is just
Yeah.
amazing. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time
Thank you.
and for sharing
Thank
all
the
your,
Lord.
yes, all your
Yeah.
testimonies and your stories. And I just hope that, if you need support
Yeah.
in the physical, Teen Challenge is here, and God will deal with you in the spiritual.
Yes.
So
Amen.
God be the glory. This is Annette B for Gospel Explosion and
Teen Challenge.
Hey!
Hallelujah.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style. What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shiny, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Jordan here for the Lifestyle Show on Ben TV. As some of you know, we've already spoken about the FAST campaign, and I had the opportunity to have an interview to find out more of what exactly FAST stands for. Since then, there's actually been an online campaign which you, the Ben TV viewers, actually took part in to give a result for us to find out who exactly has taken on board FAST, what has the results found. So right now, I'm going to be joined by Stephanie Drysdale, a nurse at the King's College Hospital who's worked in the stroke unit for the past 8 years, who's going to give us the results of that survey and what more information could be passed on and how we could spread the word even further. Hi Stephanie, how are you doing today?
I'm alright, thank you.
Great stuff. So recently, Public Health England have carried out a survey based on the campaign, the FAST campaign that they've currently got going. It's been taking place within the Black and Asian medias. What are the results from the survey that have come about?
So the survey came about basically in conjunction with the Act Fast campaign. It was basically to check the knowledge of our Black and Asian community about stroke. This was done with about 780 participants, all above the age of 16. What the survey actually found was that women were more informed about stroke. They know what the FAST stands for. They know that there are medical treatment as well. Slight variation in terms of the Black community, the women knew more, but in terms of the men, they knew less. So they don't know about how to recognize the signs, and they don't know the treatment for it in terms of
Right now I'm in a predicament because I want to prove as a man that I do know what it means, but my next question was to you, what does FAST stand for?
So FAST stands for the face, is the face drooping to one side. The arm is the arm able to lift above and hold it there. Speech is the speech slurring or are they behaving confused, and time is the call 999. Again, time is very important. I always emphasize the point of saying time. So the quicker you get to hospital is the quicker you save the brain and prevent disability, long-term disability, or even death. And at that time we can also administer emergency treatment as well.
Right. Again, you are working actually within a stroke unit within the hospital, so this is something that you're very familiar with on a day-to-day basis. Again, when you talk of the time saving, is it like the minute they've noticed any of those symptoms, they should instantly call 999.
The minute they notice any single one of those signs, it's time to call 999. Don't wait for all of the symptoms, which, as I said, the face drooping. It could be a slight drooping of the face. Don't wait for the arm to start going weak, or any speech disturbance, any speech, anything at all, any slight difference, it's time to call 999. As I said, the quicker you get there is the quicker you get treatment. As we always say, time is brain. So for example, in A&E, we have a time specific where the patient comes in through A&E. We have a gold standard that we try to gain, which is like 15 minutes from the time you enter the door to the time you have a CT scan to the time you get the treatment. So that is how important time is compared to the in A&E as well, and for us in the hospital.
Right, so it's very important. So when you mentioned the situation of the impact that it has on the families and whatnot, is there any examples you can give us of that you've seen within your time within the hospital of the differences of coming in early and or when they've left it too long?
So what part of my role is administering this treatment when the patient comes through A&E. When the patients come in, as I said, they have really weakness on the arm and on the leg, and those are the symptoms. Once we've administered that drug, within a few minutes, then you can see changes as well. So that is how vital it is to get that drug in as quick as possible. If they don't come in quite quickly, then we see patients going into nursing home, long-term disability, where they're quite dependent on people for their daily activities of living. So again, as I said, it's coming in on time, so you increase the chances that you have of going back out independent as well. Within the hospital, because I work in South London, where we have quite a high number of Black and Asian, so the admissions rate for Black and Asian within that community is quite high, and you can always tell what they're coming in with as well, and the risk factors are always there as well.
Right, I can imagine. So that it really does prove that there is a high number within our community. You've witnessed, this is first-hand experience, it has been witnessed that the time difference as well as the demographics of who are actually at risk of a stroke, it's clearly evident from what you've been showing us.
It is.
And again, you said it, where once it's administered, you've actually seen people walk out.
Yeah. We also have so it's not only administering a drug. There with stroke, there is new research and new interventions where we have thrombolysis that has been around for years, but now we have thrombectomy, which is a clot removal. Again, it's about the time that you get in so that we can remove that clot. With thrombectomy, that increases your risk of less disability as well. So there is so many treatments and new up-to-date treatment that is around from research that we know of that can save and prevent long-term disability and death.
It's amazing to know that this is out there, and just by reacting in time, it makes such a huge difference, doesn't it?
It makes such imagine a 40-year-old coming in with a stroke, and if they don't come in on time, the disability for that person is long-term, because even if they're able to survive after the stroke, having a long-term disability where they're constantly dependent on people for their daily activities, walking, washing, even the mere brushing of the teeth. So again, I can say the importance of time to get in, time to call 999.
Indeed. Even down to communication, isn't it, as well? Just once, if this is not caught in time, there's just trying to communicate with someone to express what help you do need is a difficulty.
And you can tell the frustration of that as well. And it's not only communication. We tend to kind of sway away from cognitive impairment, meaning someone can not be able to complete their finances. So those are the impact it has on the person as well. Yeah. So it's not only speech weakness or anything. There's other things that we don't see obvious, like cognitive impairment, that is also part of it.
Yes. I mean, I'm aware a stroke can happen to anyone. Is there a specific age group that are more likely to catch a stroke?
So in terms of the evidence, it says older people are more at risk, but for recent years we've seen that there's quite a significant increase in younger people as well. This has to do with our lifestyle, because stroke is preventable, but it's based on our lifestyle, our hereditary risk factors, like for us who is black, Afro-Caribbean, we are at risk already. And then we have our diet as well, which has a high sodium intake, and we have quite a lot of fatty intake as well. So that also increases our risk. We have high numbers of obesity, which increases our risk as well. And we have diabetes and cholesterol. We also have a high number of sickle cell within our black and Asian community. So that as well increases our risk of having stroke.
Right, so I just want to break down the elements of fast once again, just so everyone really can appreciate it. The F being the face,
any facial weakness, any slurring facial droop to one side. Arms are the the relatives able to lift their arm and hold it there without any drifting at all. Speech, is there any slurring of the speech, any confusion state, any slight difference in the speech, and time to call 999. Again, as I said, sometimes with our older population, we tend to think we're actually feeling tired. I've got a bit of weakness, but I've been lifting load or something like that. Do not wait to say, okay, I'll rest it off, because by the time you wake up, it is that you're having a stroke. So any slight changes, any difference at all, and even if once you know you've got risk factors as well, that increases your risk, and know that actually it could be stroke. So going to A&E is better to rule out than rule in. So time is very important to call.
Sure, thank you. Looking at that again on the time element and focusing on the older generation, sometimes I'm aware that they don't want to appear that they're wasting anyone's time, or sometimes people are scared of medication or whatnot. So once they have that hesitation, what checks are then taken out for them to know whether they are actually going through a stroke or not?
Again, as I said, it's any single sign, so you can't be absolutely positive, but once you're displaying any of the signs at all, it's better to rule out than rule in. We already know that there are some symptoms that will mimic the symptoms of a stroke. So you come into A&E won't be that you're bothering A&E or wasting time, but it's actually ruling out that you haven't got a stroke, which would be a good thing, rather than ruling in that I've got a stroke.
Yeah.
So that is the importance of
Yes. As my granddad's always told me, prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
So yes, I think that's quite fitting for that one. No, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right, I would just like to thank Stephanie once again for her time in passing on the information that's been discovered from the survey. Ladies, I have to talk to you directly on this one. Please spread the word to the men. We could save lives, we could save an impact of a family right now just by realising any of those symptoms within FAST. The face, the arms, the speech, the time. Don't put it on tiredness. Go and get it checked out. This can save a family. I'm going to put it down to a family, not just a person's life, the impact on the entire family. So once again, visit Public Health England. The link is there. Just type in the FAST campaign. Find out any more information. This could save a life and a family's impact, the impact on a family. So once again, do check it out. You can save a life. FAST. Anthony Jordan signing out.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style. What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shine here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
Hi. So, you know, you've seen me all over the Tabernacle, and over the years I thought I'd been absolutely everywhere until I've been taken behind the scenes into the office, the planning room as it appears, of the Notting Hill Carnival, and I'm joined by a man who gave a fantastic speech earlier, and you saw him actually part of the band last week's show as well. Matthew, how you doing, sir?
Hello. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. So Matthew, again, great speech, talking about the prep for Carnival, the upcoming Notting Hill Carnival, Europe's largest street party. What is the experience like for yourself?
I've been born and bred in Carnival, so for me it's just kind of business as usual, just being given an opportunity to do things on a higher level and help to coordinate it.
So how did you actually get involved in being part of this with the Tabernacle?
I've been the director of the Tabernacle for 5 years now. The Tabernacle is a subsidiary company and it's a building that belongs to the Carnival Village Trust, so that's how my involvement came about.
Okay. So when we're talking about, I'm seeing this huge map right now talking of the Notting Hill Carnival. Yeah. How much planning actually does take place in going in for, like, preparing for the Notting Hill Carnival each year?
It depends what aspect you're looking from. In terms of the planning, you know, it's a year-round planning process. Because we were only announced as organisers in January, we've had a shorter run-up time, but it takes a whole year to plan Notting Hill Carnival. Not just from an organisation point of view, you've got hundreds, if not thousands of people beavering away in their houses or workshops, making the costumes, you know, rehearsing if they're in a steel band, or you know, the Calypsonians are rehearsing and performing year round. Carnival is not just 2 days, it's kind of an ongoing thing. The 2 days of Carnival is the culmination of a year's work and a chance for people to celebrate.
Yeah. Earlier, during the speeches upstairs, Ansel mentioned that in terms of Carnival, it's part of 3M's, masquerade, music, movement. What are your fondest parts of the Carnival for yourself?
Well, for me, it's the different aspects of Carnival. So, you know, you can go and listen to a sound system or get involved in a mass band, go and enjoy some nice food, go to one of the stages. I think it's the combination of all those things that makes up Carnival and makes it a unique event. It's, you know, it has aspects from Brazilian Carnival, but it's nothing like Brazilian Carnival. You know, it's got a lot of strong influence from the Caribbean, but it's different to any Caribbean carnival. There's a lot of influences. Notting Hill Carnival is a truly unique event.
Indeed it is, indeed it is. In terms of the Tabernacle itself, in the build-up to Carnival, even during the Carnival weekend itself, what events will be taking place there?
We will have the Calypso tents, which start every Friday from the 3rd of August. So you'll be able to come here and listen to UK as well as international guests. They have guests at the shows every week. So there'll be that going on. There'll be steel bands rehearsing, costumes being made. There'll be lots of meetings, some official, some unofficial. There might be a group meeting in a meeting room, and as well as 10 unofficial gatherings in our open space, you know, in the bar and restaurant, which is always open to the community, and the community make good use of it.
Great stuff. That's what I love about the Tabernacle. It's got such a community spirit that everyone's welcome. It's so welcoming. It's got a perfect atmosphere. I've never come in here and felt down. Even if you come in down, you leave with such a high spirit. That's what the Tabernacle delivers.
That's what we try and achieve. I mean, the Tabernacle is a really unique place, and it's not something you can just plan on paper. It's evolved for 30 years. You know. This became a community resource by community activism. You know, it was members of the community that kind of barricaded councillors, etc., into just next door to us there's a church which used to have a church hall next to it, and there was a public meeting that was held there, and they were held overnight, until they gave a commitment that this building could be used for the community. We've got pictures that tell that story going up our main staircase.
Wow.
It's, this whole area has a massive history in activism. Powis Square, the park in front of the Tabernacle, that was owned by a private landlord. Members of the community at the time, there was no green spaces around, so they went and they pulled together some money and they tried to buy it off the gentleman that owns it. He refused. They went to the local council and they said, can you help us do a compulsory purchase order? There's nowhere for our children to play. They weren't interested. What that community group did was the guy that used to own Powis Square used to keep it and just keep one goat on there. It was corrugated iron around it. Nobody could go in there. They visited his house in Croydon. He had a nice big house, and they had a picnic on his front lawn. The result of that was that he then sold it to the council, and the council made it a community space. So to this day, it's a park that's open to the community. Notting Hill has got a lot of private closed gardens where you can't go in unless you own the properties. There's kind of communal private gardens. Powis Square is an example of community activism, as is the Tabernacle. It was community activism that made it what it is today.
Wow. That's really insightful. I had no clue of the power of what's actually gone on in this area.
This area, North Kensington, it's been about activism from day one. You have to stand up if you want something. Nothing's going to be just given to you. Nothing worthwhile anyway. You have to come together as a community and ask for what you want. If you're not given what you want, you demand what you want.
Indeed, and the proof is here. The proof is most definitely here. So for anyone wanting to find out some more information of what's going on in the Tabernacle or anything on the Tabernacle, is there a website or anything you'd like to give out?
Tabernacle's website is tabernaclew11.com, and you can get information on there on up and coming gigs, workshops, information about the bar and restaurant. The Tabernacle is open 7 days a week from 9 o'clock every morning until at least 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And you don't have to. You can come here anytime, use the Wi-Fi, sit down. You don't have to buy anything, and it's always open. No matter what's going on in the theatre, the community know that they can always come into the Tabernacle, and that's young and old.
Great stuff, Matthew. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
It's been a
very
pleasure.
much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, right now it's an absolute honour to once again have Mr. Rudolph Walker with us right now. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I'm all right. Excited after, the launch of the Notting Hill Carnival and the Tabernacle. And it's great. It brings back fantastic memories because I came over here in 1960, and I think it was in 1966 that the first remnants of the Notting Hill Carnival was born, and it's been growing. Unfortunately, due to my filming commitments, I'm unable to attend every year. But when I do attend, it's just fantastic to see the improvement and to see what has happened.
That is absolutely great. In talking in terms of the improvements that you've seen over the years, how has that experience been to see such changes? What are your favourite moments?
Well, the changes, which is so obvious, in that now we have people from right across the globe attending Notting Hill Carnival. Outside of Trinidad, it's probably the biggest street festival in the world. And this augurs very well for the future, and especially tonight when we saw the youngsters on stage. So you get the feeling that Carnival is here to stay. It's in good hands. And that is important to me. When it was started, it was amongst a lot of Trinidadians, Jamaicans and other islanders, and now it's the local population. And now you see a cross-section of the community. Now you see all races, color, creed. And really and truly you sometimes wonder if the world can take an example from what is happening in Notting Hill Carnival. Maybe the world might be a better place.
Indeed it would. That is I've never thought of it that way, but that's very positive. Earlier while we were upstairs, we heard Ansel mention movement, masquerade and music. Which one of those would be your favourite part of the
You put me in the fix. Movement, masquerade, they're all. And I think he didn't emphasize on any particular movement, masquerade, music. They all have equal. You can't 33 and a third %. Oh, I know my maths, don't I? Each. All right, I like that.
Perfect answer. Most definitely. And you said due to commitments, you're not always available to attend the carnival. Will you be able to make it this year?
Well, I hope so. At this point in time, I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. But yes, I'd love to be there this year.
Sir, thank you very much. It's an honour, and
Bless you.
hopefully we get to see you on the carnival day itself.
Definitely. Bless
Thank
you.
very
Thanks
much.
a lot.
Thank you very much. One of the legendary DJs in the world of soca, the one, the only, Mr. Hotwax. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, sir. How are you doing, yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. So, we've just had the press conference for the launch of Carnival. How was the experience for you?
Well, I must admit, really, it's an improvement to the years of carnival launches and so on. So, the new company that's in now, I'm just hoping that they'll do better than what we had before. So, nothing's going to be worse than what we had before.
Improvement is always good. That's the key bit. We're going to see improvement. In terms of Carnival itself, what are your favourite moments of Carnival?
My favourite moment in carnival is making the costumes and see the costume parade on the street, especially with the children. I think that's one of my greatest moments seeing.
It's always nice to see the children. It's nice to know that even though it started all the way back in '66, we're still seeing the legacy and the children still getting involved. That is very important.
Well, I think what we really need to do, we need to make sure that children develop in making costumes and carry on making costumes and making this about the carnival.
It's so important. It's so important. In terms of Carnival and hearing yourself, who will you be playing with this year? Where can we find you during the Carnival?
Well, I'm actually got the Hot Wax Carnival band, as you can see. The Hot Wax Carnival band, the Rum Kerry Crew. This year we're doing the Pirates of the Caribbean. And as I said, we are big on the road.
That's good, that's good. So look out for the Hot Wax Carnival crew.
Look out for the Carnival, Pirates of the Caribbean, Rum Cherry Crew.
I like that.
Yeah?
That's nice. That's nice. And for all of those wanting to hear Hot Wax, where can they tune into you now?
Well, Hot Wax is actually a mobile. They play all over the country and Europe. So it's basically look out for the leaflets, look out for where Hot Wax is playing.
Perfect, great stuff. And any social medias you want to plug?
Well, it's just basically Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Hot Wax Carnival group.
Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you. Now, you recognise one of the faces. We're talking about the one, the only, the legendary DJ, Mr. Smokey Joe. And we're joined by one of his sponsors from the Smokey Joe Roadshow. Love music, hate racism. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing really well. My name's Wayman Bennett. I'm proud to be with Smokey. It's a carnival of resistance. Been here for 30 years and we need carnival more than ever. We need carnival against a hostile environment that's been put forward by Theresa May. The beats and colour that we brought to this country has been treated in the most disgraceful way. We want to make sure that the carnival that Claudia Jones put forward, these streets belong to us. We don't want to see people like Tommy Robinson, who suddenly says that somehow we're a problem, that immigrants are a problem, or migrants. What we brought to this country with Windrush, with further things, actually changed the way that people live in this country. We have to defend it. Carnival is about us dancing, Carnival is about our rhythm, Carnival's about our song, but it's also about our history of resistance, about enslavement, against the fight against slavery, the fight against racism. That's what we want to do. We love music and we hate racism.
Perfectly said.
Well, you said that all. I don't have to say anything else. Wayman has been working hard with it. And Smokey Joe Roadshow, I've been doing Carnival for a lot of years now, far longer than I care to say. However, the realization when I teamed up with these guys is that I'm doing Carnival with a purpose. We're not going to go out there with placards and start ranting and raving, but we're going to do, our presence is going to speak for itself. And so I'm happy to be teaming up with Love Music, Hate Racism this year for Notting Hill Carnival 2018. And our team is Sunbeam, dedicated to Claudia Jones, who brought a real light into the community. So that's how we're moving.
I love that. And what I love about the way you guys are doing it, as you said, Smokey, it's not about the placards. We're showing the positivity of what we do. We're not a problem, and we're going to show it by having a celebration with no problem. That's perfect.
That is right. We are going to, celebrate ourselves. So our culture, Caribbean culture, brought a lot to the UK. There's a lot of pop stars out there who wouldn't be big stars without Caribbean culture. And we love music, we hate racism, we're here to stay.
And to be honest, the only crime they should talk about is the fact that the talent and the ability of our young people and the contribution that they're made isn't properly celebrated and isn't properly shared. When we talk about Carnival, please don't talk about crime. The only crime we want to talk about, if they're going to talk about that, is grime, is about the way that we dance, is soca. And don't do a crime against our music and our culture. Celebrate it. Don't talk about the roughness. We want to celebrate dancing together, being together.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. I see such a perfect combination in this. It's going to be a show to follow with you guys on the Carnival Day weekend.
Asking people to join us on the road for Carnival, you know. So if you're
plug away. How can they get in contact with yourself?
Well, straight away, off the top of the hand, because my daughter's in charge of everything. But yeah, Facebook Smokey Joe Music. And get in touch with us.
Yeah, go to Love Music Hate Racism. We've got transport. We're putting people up overnight. This Carnival 2018, the weather's right, the music's right, and attitude is right. Come down and join us. Join Smokey Joe. Come behind us. Last year we put on a show for Grenfell. This time we're putting on a show for the whole community.
Perfect. Great stuff, guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys during the Carnival. Thank you very much. Okay, right now it's going to be an honour to talk to someone whose organisation, whose section within the Carnival is dedicated entirely to charity. All of the returns go to charity. Fiona, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. So tell us, how did you come about building your section within the Carnival?
I mean, how it happened was by accident. It was actually built out from tragedy, and I think from every bad thing you must try to find the silver lining and good from it. And it happened when a young woman was murdered in Trinidad, and over Carnival. She was found Carnival Tuesday morning, and it was a response by certain comments that people made that it was her own fault, and that she was kind of asking for it. And I thought that very unfair, because no woman wants to be put in a situation where her safety is compromised or she loses her life. So when I started to talk to people and I felt their outrage, I felt like I had to do something. I think most people now, when they're outraged about something, they'll go on Facebook, they'll write something, and I felt to write an open letter to the mayor, and all this kind of thing. I said, no, I need to do something that is more tangible. And I think because I love Carnival, and I think one of the things that's very hurtful about Carnival to me right now is people's perceptions that it's about sex. That you see a woman in a costume, and even how she's dancing, how we whine, it's about sex, which is the roots of it. Is not that. At the end of the day, how we dance and how we whine, obviously it stems from Africa. And when you look at the traditional African dances, it's not about sex. You may talk about fertility, but not essentially about sex, okay? And one of the things is how we dance and how we whine is about freedom and expression, not about sex. So I think now people's perception of how Carnival has evolved is not correct at all. And so what I'm trying to do is show that just because you see a girl in a costume and she looks beautiful and very sexy, I won't deny that doesn't give you the right to grab, grope, or assault her or put her in a position where she feels uncomfortable. So that's why I wanted to do something tangible and a homage to Carnival in a way to save our culture and not have it be overrun by sexual misconceptions about our culture and what we represent and what Carnival is. So we are the only section in the world where we donate 100% of our profits to different charities to help women and families affected by domestic violence.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. And what I like as well is where you talked about the art of the dancing, where it's misunderstood. What's very important as well with what you do is you teach the history of music, of the Carnival within your organisation. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
I mean, what I do is that I run something called Know Your Caribbean, and what it is that I think that people, if you understand the history behind something, you can appreciate it much more. So even in terms of like on a Carnival Sunday, which we had to campaign for because the council wanted to stop it, was what we call Dirty Mass. And Dirty Mass happens on pre-Carnival, okay? So before the feathers and bikinis and all the what we call pretty mass or pretty masquerade, you have Dirty Mass. And what it is that it stems from when the slaves were emancipated from slavery in the Caribbean. They went down to the sugarcane fields and they covered themselves in molasses and they danced and they rejoiced and they started a procession. So what it is a homage to our freedom. So, to take away these things from us, you're taking away the very essence of everything that Carnival is, because Carnival was birthed from the celebration of emancipation, of slavery. So all of these elements and factors are important. So if people knew that, why are they covered in paint and powder and chocolate and oil and dirt? But if you understand why, it's because it's an absolute epitome of freedom. Then you can look at it and really appreciate it from your heart like we do. So I think that if people notice these things, you can really just feel like you are a part of Carnival and not like a spectator, but you're actually a participant as well. So
Indeed. That's very interesting. In terms of the whole spectacle of Carnival, what is one of your favourite moments or aspects of Carnival?
You know what it is? It's to be in the middle of the road. So you can be walking down Notting Hill, which is obviously seen as very like upper class and then where there's a lot of people who are wealthy who live in Notting Hill and stuff. But for those 2 days, we own it. So I'm in the middle of the road and I'm singing from my heart. I'm dancing from my soul. And the road belongs to me. It's like a community. We're doing it together. Like my son is there. People I don't see for the entire year, I'll see them for that 1 year. It's like we've never missed each other. And that's the beauty of it. It's like a family thing. I think people just think, oh yeah, it's just 2 days of like dancing and drinking rum and gyrating. No. It's a family thing. And when I say family, I don't just mean children, but I mean like adults, friendships that are birthed from our mutual love of Carnival, from the people who practice Pan all year, people who spend months making costumes. It's like a family thing, and we're all together and we're singing from our hearts, and that's what I love so much about it.
Perfect. That's such a great summary of Carnival. And for anyone wanting to get in contact with all the works that you're doing, how can they get in contact with you?
You can find the charity Not Asking For It on Facebook. It's Not Asking For It Official, or on Instagram as well, the same at Not Asking For It Official. And you can find Know Your Caribbean as well on Facebook and on Instagram as well. We're just about making it an inclusive thing and just about educating and upliftment as well for not just Caribbean people, because obviously we come from Africa as well. A lot of things stem from Africa, and we like to kind of let everyone know that, we are all joined together throughout history. So
Fiona, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shiny here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
be here, and I'm here in the heart of London with the beautiful
Feusi. Good afternoon.
Wow, wow, wow. So how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me today. Wonderful day, isn't it?
Absolutely beautiful. So tell me a bit about yourself. You know, you look so amazing, all wrapped up in beautiful shades and colors. So tell me, what do you actually do?
So I am what I call ethical fashion designer, which means that I am a fashion designer who's really putting focus on being ethical, and which means first on the design prospect, to be transparent in terms of how and where and who make the clothes, who work with me to produce those clothes, and how I source the material. My background is I was born in France, in Paris. I grew up in Paris, but I'm half Nigerian, and I've always been very in tune with my African origin and very in love with African culture. I started designing when I was 17, and well, my mom is a designer, and I have to say she always had a passion for textile, and when she discovered African textile, she really nurtured this passion for African textile, so she passed it on to me.
So is this actually what inspired you to get started?
Yes, I think, yes, it's this mom. I mean, I grew up around my mom making clothes and making costumes and homeware, and so I learned to sew and I learned to design with my mom. I didn't really study fashion at university. I studied something completely different. I studied information and communications. But yeah, this love for African culture and for textile. 12 years ago, my mom traveled for the first time, or 13 years ago, for the first time in Mali. In continuing our research about African textile, and she fell in love with the traditional technique called bogolan, which is mud cloth. And long story short, she stayed. She learned the technique, become a bogolan master, started designing her own textile, which was wonderful for me, and work with local artists. That's something that we had planned for a long time. When I was 18, I took a gap year and I went to Senegal, and that's the first time I really worked with local artists. And but I was young, so I didn't know yet how to go around, how really to make it happen, to work with Africa, and how make it, how to say that, how to make it sustainable, basically. So. With mom, setting up in Mali and starting an organization that became a charity to support local artists. We have now a collective, so we've got people who weave, we've got people who design textile, and I've got the pleasure and the honor to use those textiles to design my collection, which is wonderful. And my big love, I've got a big love for wraps. I mean, this is the tradition in Africa. Wraps are always been there. The wrap skirt. Every woman wears the wrap skirt, and you can do so many things with a wrap. It's amazing. When I went to Africa for the first time, I realized how much you could do with just one piece of fabric. And because traditionally the way they design textile in Africa is I actually studied this for a long time, because the process of design on African textile is very much a process of telling a story, of writing, using symbols. Every culture, every country, every tribe had different symbols and different techniques of creating design, textile design. But there's one thing that is common, is it tells a story. And it tells a story about the tribe, it tells a story about the person who wear the fabric, who wear the cloth. And this is why you just wrap yourself in it, because it already says everything about you, about your family, about your success, about your achievement.
So basically, it's like a silent language.
It is. And to be honest, you see, my thing, it was, because I heard growing up, and I'm sure you heard that Africa doesn't have any writing system. There's no writing system in Africa, apart from Egypt. But it seems like sometimes people forget that Egypt is in Africa, isn't it? And I thought, to me, it's not true, because I grew up seeing those fabrics and being told that, you see this symbol, it means the crocodile. You see this symbol, it means the girl. It means that the girl comes from a royal family. Or you see this symbol means that a family is a family of singers, of griots, for example. These type of things. And so I really, and funnily enough, I studied information and communication, and I decided to write my master memoir about African textile and to demonstrate that they are support of communication. And this inspired my whole way of designing, because I think what I identify with that is that you have what you wear. Even if I agree, you can't judge somebody on just what they're wearing and how they look. No, you have to, there's more to them. There's more to them. I believe that people for the art, but it is somehow very true that we express ourselves with what we wear. And as an African descendant, I think for me it's very important. I love to express, my love for my origin, and at the same time my mixity, because I grew up in Europe and I'm inspired by Parisian fashion, London fashion. So it was all about expressing myself and inspiring women and people to express themselves through what they wear. So I started. For me, my approach was more as a stylist approach first. To support women to understand their body, to look good, to understand that they've got their own beauty. Everybody's got beauty. You just need to understand and know your own beauty, and then you can make the most of it.
So you encourage them to develop knowing themselves and appreciating who and what they have and who they are. Amazing.
Yes, and so all this took me to continue my research and my love with wraps. And I created my brand called Art of Fashion Wrapping, which is all about wraps and all things you can do with wraps. And I have a range of wraps, different wraps. And it's not just about creating products. Yes. It's also about, through the products, inspiring women to be themselves and to accessorize themselves in a different way, to incorporate maybe a little bit of African culture, or for women who are not African descent, but who love the print, who love the color, who just want to bring some color. I believe in color therapy as well, so that's why I think our fabrics from Africa are so wonderful, because they carry this good energy. When you go to Africa and you just go in the market and you see all the women, you just think, wow, they're beautiful, they're royal, for me it's just elegance. That's the definition of elegance, So
can I ask you, have you made what you've got on today?
Yes, I did, yeah. So this is part of what I call my Wrap Me Up collection. So you see I'm all wrapped up. Yes, you couldn't say better than that. The Wrap Me Up collection is a clothing collection, a capsule collection inspired by wraps and art of wrapping. So everything is on wrapping system, reversible. So this one is reversible. Multifunction. You can also wear it different ways. And it's all about this research of sustainability, and the idea that I want to create pieces that are gonna last in a woman wardrobe. Yes. So a piece that can offer different style possibility will last longer. Yes. I want women to fall in love with the clothes that I make, and I want the clothes that I make to give them love back. I want them to put them on and feel, I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I am powerful, I can achieve anything. This is because I really feel like women need to do that. they're not told enough that they're beautiful. And women and young girls, mums, I'm a mother of 4, I call myself mumpreneur. I juggle being a businesswoman and a mum, and both are as much important to me.
I like that, mumpreneur. I love that.
I saw that word on Google once, and I just said, this is my title. Yeah, I think, when you're a woman, when you become a mum, you go through a lot. Your body goes through a lot, and it's hard sometimes. It's hard. And, you and most of the time you're supposed to be happy because you just had babies and you have children and stuff. But yourself, you're going through a lot, and sometimes you don't have the opportunity to talk about. You might be ashamed to talk about it and things like this. And I think it's very important that you love yourself through the whole process, and you love your body, and especially when you go through transformation with your body. And we women going through so many transformation from young girl. First we're going through puberty, men as well, but the women body change, and nowadays I think they change even younger and quicker. And if you don't have the strong belief that you are beautiful, that this love within yourself, it can be very challenging.
Especially how everything's depicted in the social media of how one should look.
There you go.
Oh, how can people get a hold of you? How can people get a hold of your clothes? Can you tell the viewers how they can get a hold of you?
Yes, they can visit my website, feeussy.com, www.feeussy.com, where they will find all information about my work, and from fashion to empowering girls with workshops, community work, and lifestyle coaching for women. And I am everywhere on social media, on Facebook, Feeussy or Art of Fashion Wrapping, and on Instagram, Art of Fashion Wrapping. And you can also find some information about my charity in Mali, Bolo No Mali, on Instagram. And if you're interested, please get in touch with me, send me a message. I'm always happy to connect and to share my passion for fashion and for empowering women.
Well, you heard it here. Contact her, contact her, contact her. Well, this is Annette B. Thank you for tuning in, and the beautiful
Feeussy. Annette, thank you so much for having me. Really, really wonderful.
It's a pleasure. This is a lifestyle show. Peace out.
Addicted to your praise on the bass and the race to the taste of the bass and the bass of the beat. Praise of your beat, yes, praise of your beat. I really mean it when I say praise of your beat. What about your praise? What about your beat? What about the praise and the bass and the beat? I wake my lute, I wake my harp. Your pressure continually be in my mouth. Jesus is a praise, Jesus is a beat. Jesus owns the praise and the bass and the beat. Jesus is the praise and the bass and the race to the taste of the bass and the bass of the beat. Yesu, Yesu, mo fẹ́ràn rẹ, say Jesus, Jesus, I love you, say oh Yesu, Yesu, mo fẹ́ràn rẹ.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shine here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
If I only see you on the road at midnight, I'll take all your money, even your innocence.
We're Berlin Carnival 2015. Here again with Carnival Explosion. Their theme is Midnight Rubber.
The Midnight Rubber come out since over 100 years in Trinidad. It is a very traditional character in the greatest show on earth, Trinidad Carnival, giving you stories about all kind of mischief they're doing. It almost died out, so I'm very happy in Berlin Carnival. We're reviving it.
I love the band, I love the costume. Carnival Explosion, beautiful costume.
I must say, the costumes every year is getting better and better. The time we're having is great. Loads of people all over the world.
All the way from Brooklyn, United States.
From Russia. From Berlin.
From Arima, Trinidad.
They're from Berlin, Germany.
From Spain.
From London.
From Berlin.
From New York.
Tobago.
Life is so good to me. Life is so good.
Carnival Explosion, my lord.
Ready. From your wake up this morning, you're the winner.
Carnival Explosion.
Yeah. From your wake up.
A series of DJs from all across Europe here.
You want your masters all the way from Amsterdam.
Watch out, Jaja.
It's the Soca Twins, Berlin Carnival, and we mad again.
Everywhere is vibes.
This is DJ Private Ryan picking up Carnival Explosion. First time in Berlin, lovely vibe.
So nice,
She beats. Carnival Explosion, Midnight Robbers.
She lives and gets on and
the craziest thing you have ever seen. It's mad.
I'm not sure, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks
Berlin Carnival, it's sweet.
And where is the plan now? Just the
all the fellas who didn't make it, gladiators here, we go and do it for them.
Sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like
Switzerland, we represent the Swiss soca crew.
things so sweet, yeah.
Oh, look at people, we getting on
I
fire.
feel like a jam down. I feel like a wind down. I want to hold on a bumper right now. I got on bad, yeah. I feel like a jam down. I feel like a wind down.
This year we present Midnight Robbers.
The Midnight Robbers come out to rob the Berliners, the Germans, the Dutch people, the English people, the French people, the Spanish people, the Italians.
We always try to promote Trinidadian culture and combine traditional mass with the pretty mass.
And the train is going home with all the treasure.
Cause life is short and tomorrow not short, so I live like it's my last. Oh, drinks in me and now jump up and wave is the plan now.
I want to brush you in Berlin.
We're in Carnival sweet.
So sweet, yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't wanna
We
go.
up in Carnival Explosion, Midnight Robbers.
The only
I don't know what that meant in German, but I think they said it's vibe.
I just getting on. whining in a rage, getting on real bad, waiting on this stage. Them
First time from Spain, en español, Spanish Carnival Explosion. Soca Twins, DJ Brother Ryan.
It's all yeah that we waited.
We here with Carnival Explosion. We represented Trinidad and Tobago, all the way from the UK.
Oh yeah.
We all the boys and them. Bevan, Jerry, we all in.
It's all yeah that we waited.
Carnival Explosion.
And we anticipated.
Best carnival in the world.
Oh yeah. Waiting on the stage.
As usual, we have tight security, drinks for the people on the road, nice costumes, and you're all welcome to join the band next year.
You like it the best thing in the whole world, man. Just Caribbean.
Carnival Explosion is like a family. All of them are my friends, and I met them all today. Absolutely beautiful.
So thank you, it's very colorful, and let's continue to embrace the Caribbean culture.
Love it. This is my first time here, and I'll definitely be coming back. DJ Private Ryan says so. Berlin Carnival, Carnival Explosion. If I never came to Berlin Carnival, you're sticking.
Carnival Explosion!
2016 Berlin Carnival. The experience of a lifetime. Sphinx Media, you're back.
I love Sphinx Media!
Sphinx Media live again, back at Berlin Carnival 2015. You know we do it.
God bless you, Carnival Explosion. I'll be back.
Oh yeah. Waiting on the stage. Waiting on the stage.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shine here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
Viking. Just now. Take a chip, take a chip, take a chip, take a chip now. Hey, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, wow. We are the sound of 100,000 coming on the road. We are the vibration.
Welcome to Tears, the premier band of the Notting Hill Carnival.
More than the oil and we come the dirty of the clothes. Hey. I made the girl them wine and strike the electric pose. Hey. Take a chip, take a chip, take a chip, take a chip now. Hey.
My first time with Tears Match Band. It's mad. Enjoying myself.
Take a sip, take a sip, take a sip now. Wine and go dip, and go dip, and go dip, and go dip now.
Nice band, nice band.
I swear we are the sound them selectors play.
London Carnival, Tears.
Making you sway. And when the girl them telele and shadow dingole, I hear
Morris
the
Root
say, we are the sound of soca. Big bad soca.
I'm actually from Germany. We have Carnival in Berlin, but this is so much better. I love it.
And dirty, stink and dirty. Viking. Double M. Hey. Do free them, but run for your life. Do free them.
Tears at the bottom.
Do free them, but run
from Pakistan, and I'm absolutely loving this event. The energy is really high.
Boss man. The blues they belting like they want to boss man. No matter what they do, me I go bang to them. Way they get in like they want to come for me. So tell them come for me.
Good time on Tears.
We love it. The drinks always flow.
Much to mention, they take up all my attention. Holy faith, of everything you accuse me, and all the times you abuse me, but now you cannot refuse me. Holy faith, I was born in a village. I learned my upbringing, where all was forgiven. So I'm in tune with my spirit. I was born as a warrior. The father was a snake fighter. So why is that no pushover? Now we're fighting back. They come out of boss man. They blues they belting like they want to boss man. No matter what they do, me I do bang to them. Way they get in like they want to come for me. So tell them come for me. Tell them we don't afraid nobody. All of them who walk confront with anywhere we go. We afraid no man and afraid no demon.
Cater for young, old, middle age, everybody.
Stop we tell them we don't afraid no woman, afraid no stick and afraid no demon. I say
We've eaten well, we've drunk well, and supplied us with drink 24/7.
It's really good.
It's actually the best.
Tears Mask.
Tell them we don't afraid
no bad vibes, it's all perfect.
Bad mind people them who trying to stop me. See them with a big stick like they want paid with bloody. Hit them with powder, tell them all the stink and dirty.
Big up Morris Root School in the building. Anybody from Trinidad? When the Jamaicans and the Bajans and the Vincentians, Grenada, Massive, Antigua, Dominica, St. Lucia. Hey, somebody said yeah.
See my right hand, peering them for destruction.
You like Tears Massive mud.
Boy, I no woman, no girl, and nothing. Came here to battle and fight for my life while I'm hearing them sing. They come out on boss head. They blues they belting like they want to boss head. No matter what they do, me I do bang to them. Way they get in like they want to come for me. So tell them come for me. Tell them we don't afraid nobody. All of them who walk confront with any.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shine here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shine here, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
Where the beats? Trini boy juicy. Yeah. I love in the way how you whine and you dance. You make a go nas man ball. I love you, baby. You make the thing stand tall. Baby, just whine and bend over. Putting my hand on your shoulder. I wanna make you mine. You set my soul on fire. Hey, girl, let me take a wine on it. Hey, girl, let me take a jump on it. Hey, girl, let me take a wine on it. Come, girl, don't run from it. Hey, girl, let me take a wine on it. Hey, girl, let me take a jump on it. Hey, girl, let me take a wine on it. Come, girl, don't run from it. My girl, what you have under there? You dancing there without a care. The way you whine and give it to me like skin to skin with no underwear. When you whine and bend over, put your leg on my shoulder. On the spot me and you interlock. Make a ball for water like a name one solar. If you see words in the place, bam bam bouncing all over. All over. I tell you she make up she face to the base. I am witness like Jehovah. Hey, when I see how she whining, I turn on, I tell she, hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Hey gal, let me take a jump on it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Come gal, don't run from it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Hey gal, let me take a jump on it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Come gal, don't run from it. I love in the way how you whine and you dance. You make her go nuts, man, ball. I love you, baby. You make the things stand tall. Baby, just whine and bend over. Putting my hand on your shoulder. I wanna make you mine. You set my soul on fire. It's about that time. Who come out to party? Who come out to lime? Woman in front, a man right behind. Everybody liking the vibe. Join the line, ladies. This is your time. Who come out to party? Who come out to lime? Woman in front, a man right behind. Everybody liking the vibe. Join the line, ladies. This is your time. If you see words in the place, bam bam bouncing all over. All over. I tell you she make up she face to the base. I am witness like Jehovah. Hey, when I see how she whining, I turn on, I tell she, hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Hey gal, let me take a jump on it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Come gal, don't run from it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Hey gal, let me take a jump on it. Hey gal, let me take a wine pon it. Come gal, don't run from it. I love in the way how you whine and you dance. You make her go nuts, man, ball. I love you, baby. You make the things stand tall. Baby, just whine and bend over. Putting my hand on your shoulder. I wanna make you mine. You set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. You set my soul on fire. Doing all of the things I like. Yeah.
Love me, I deal with. When to life is love, show me what you tell me. Some will say they love you, they just really love to hate it. When to life is love, show me what you tell me. Got no time for nonsense that I won't accommodate. Love me like you love yourself, or maybe you don't. Maybe you will, and maybe you won't. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Show me like you tell me. Show me like you tell me.
Some will tell you say them love you, but them have an ulterior motive or something them are looking at. Some will tell you say them love you, but them have an ulterior motive. The whole of them are crook. They don't love you, but they love what you can offer. But if you sell you out, then somebody make them an offer. They care about you, not they care about whatever you got. Their words have no meaning, them only have a bag of chat. They don't love themselves, so they won't love you, never you forgot. Can't do no better, so no expect better. Honesty school them again.
Way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Some will say they love you, they just really love to hate it. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Got no time for nonsense that I won't accommodate. Love me like you love yourself, or maybe you don't. Maybe you will, and maybe you won't. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Show me like you tell me. Show me like you tell me. If money is on your mind, please don't follow me home. love to hate. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Got no time for nonsense that I won't accommodate. Love me like you love yourself, or maybe you don't.
Maybe you don't.
Maybe you will, and maybe you won't.
Maybe you
the way
won't.
to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Show me like you tell me. Show me like you tell me.
No, you not love and you not care about no one life. You more into your money and your wife. The only reason why you care about the next step is because you don't want mash up your crap. You don't care if me alive or me dead. As long as I can manipulate me head. No need to pretend now because I know you well. You never talk the truth, I just be a lie you tell.
The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Some will say they love you, they just really love to hate. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Got no time for nonsense that I won't accommodate. Love me like you love yourself, or maybe you don't.
Maybe you don't.
Maybe you will, and maybe you won't.
Maybe you
the way
won't.
to life is love. Show me what you tell me. Show me like you tell me. Show me like you tell me. The way to life is love. The way to life is love. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me. The way to life is love. The way to life is love. The way to life is love. Show me what you tell me.
There ain't no man that could let loose on it like me or spill juice on it like me. Bars with champions, time I've been amping long time since 02, 03. Man shoot blank things but I got bars all now. There ain't one thing you made us see. Now man ain't man's ready with this. When it comes round we can make a scene. This ain't fair. Me versus that guy there, I swear I can spin them all year. Man don't care, mention my name with the giants. I don't hear anyone near. You can talk too much but you can't walk too much. So let's get that thing clear. Walk with the highest. Man never knew K had it and now this is what they wanna hear. Look, everything start get lovely when I had enough of being comfy. Everything start get jumpy when I get the speakers them pumping. I hear all the drilling man talk like 24 man's got the heat of them dumping. We don't believe you, this is the preview. So let me get this jumping, giving out grub for the playlist. Rather be rich than famous. Them hitters there don't make me vids, but they got clips and the shameless. In the field daydream about house and whips and acres, coming like Django. Gotta try to break through, but they don't wanna take you serious, dude, coming like Rambo. Let baggage of everything, gotta be savage of everything. I will cabbage a veteran, I'm at the point no settling. Look, I hit your fruit anywhere that your man go. They're like K, don't done, I'm off that quick. Scrap that, it's been a while now, match fit. I'm like Kane, I just want another hat trick. Through pain and the stabs and the ad-libs. Yeah, everything start get mad now when I had enough of being sat down. Woo! Everything start get jumpy when I got the speakers to the max now. I hear all these drilling mans talk like 24 man's got the heaters in the background. But we don't believe you, this just a preview. Look, let's get back to the basics. Not once ever thought if this music team don't work, then I'm back to the pavements. Got the passion in my heart and patience. I was always hands-on with the brown thing. You would wanna put your hands on or your bands on. Wonder if you put the mic on when I get hands on. Well, you better get your black suit and your sad song ready. No time to be acting heavy and that's factors if I never gave none already. Touch booth order in the pack of the cloudy environment, I'm accustomed to any. No time to be acting heavy and that's factors if I never gave none already. Touch booth, I need a pack of the loud environment, I'm accustomed to any.
I promise I'll write for you anything you're going through. I'll solve and I'll try to keep the world off of your your shoulders. I know it may be hard, but baby, if you trust in me, I'll show you what love's about. And I promise to love you in more ways than one. I promise to care for you. I really want you to understand it's only you. It's only you. And you know I love you, and you know I need you. Oh yeah, yeah. You're mine, 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 you're mine. I promise I'll hold you down. You're the king, and baby, you deserve the crown. I wanna look out for you, be there where you need me to, and I will do all the things that a loving girl's supposed to do. And I promise to love you in more ways than one. I promise to care for you. I really want you to understand it's only you. It's only you, yeah. And baby, I love you, and you know I need you, yeah, yeah. You're mine, 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 I'm mine. You're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine.
What I love about my natural hair is that it brings out me and my natural beauty, and I love it because it's full of cover and full of style.
What I love about my natural hair, it's healthy, curly, it keeps my face warm, and I can do lots of styles with it. I love about my natural hair is that it's nice, it's curly, and it makes me have comfort in my life.
What I love about my natural hair is how curly it is and the texture of it, because whenever I feel it, it makes me so happy.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's easy to do, it's really soft, and that I don't really have to worry about doing it when my sisters are getting theirs done, and it's really easy to wash.
I love my natural hair because when it's wet, you can see all the nice curls and it's nice and shiny, and it's big and crazy like me.
I like my natural hair because it's more beautiful and more shiny, and I like it because it's beautiful and pretty. It's so beautiful and so lovely and so amazing. What I love about my natural hair is that I can do it in different styles, like plait it, twist it, straighten it, curl it.
What I love about my natural hair is that it's very versatile and I can do loads of styles with it, so it shows how amazing I am, and it's just really, it shows what I'm feeling and how I express my feelings.
What I like about my natural hair is that it's very fluffy and you can do it in lots of different styles. But if you put too much chemicals in it, you can't do it.
New York, London, Jamaica. We want money. If you get to youth, we want money. Hey, my area. Me want the money, the pound, the US and the Shira. Hey, a G Mafia. Big house on the hill with pool by the side. Me know that if you get to you dream. Live like superstar, rat girls fast car. Me know that if you get to you dream. We have to make the money by any means. So we touching at the road, madam mean. Every day you have to hustle for your cream. If you want live your dream. This year, I rich me say. Bank account, a Swiss me say. New York, Paris me say. Get rich in a life but no switch me say. Dutch road, no itch me say. Me and some hot gal as bar with no fish me say. First class flight, A-list me say. The on top of the charts, a hits me say. Big house on the hill with pool by the side. Me know that if you get to you dream. Live like superstar, rat girls fast car. Me know that if you get to you dream. We have to make the money by any means. So we touching at the road, madam mean. Every day you have to hustle for your cream. If you want live your dream. I'm not a dreamer, the money have to float in. Inna the bank, inna me pocket, it a soaking. We stay clean, money no pop in a jeans. And me buy me mother our dream house inna the scheme. I know who get rich first and who save up. Yeah, the money enough, so me nah stay broke. Yeah, me touch the road and me pocket a fi buff. And we are clean, cause we know we give enough. Big house on the hill with pool by the side. Me know that if you get to you dream. Live like superstar, rat girls fast car. Me know that if you get to you dream. We have to make the money by any means. So we touching at the road, madam mean. Every day you have to hustle for your cream. If you want live your dream. This year, I rich me say. Bank account, a Swiss me say. New York, Paris me say. Get rich in a life but no switch me say. Dutch road, no itch me say. Me and some hot gal as bar with no fish me say. First class flight, A-list me say. The on top of the charts, a hits me say. Big house on the hill with pool by the side. Me know that if you get to you dream. Live like superstar, rat girls fast car. Me know that if you get to you dream. We have to make the money by any means. So we touching at the road, madam mean. Every day you have to hustle for your cream. If you want live your dream. Big house on the hill with pool by the side. Me know that if you get to you dream. Live like superstar, rat girls fast car. Me know that if you get to you dream. We have to make the money by any means. So we touching at the road, madam mean. Every day you have to hustle for your cream. If you want live your dream.
Listen to my talk, and me know me no deaf, but me no hear nobody. My life and a monopoly. When we chat in the valley, we no fear nobody.
Yea, do I trod through this valley, I will fear no evil. Yea, do I
through this valley, still I will fear no evil. Don't you know? Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide. Right through this valley, and I know I'm trotting through this valley, and I know though my enemies fight I every day, I will fear no evil. Though my enemies set traps in my way, still I will fear no evil. Don't you know? Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide. Right through this valley, and I know I'm trotting through this valley, and I know,
yeah. As a warrior when we trotted upon the road, yeah, we have to ask Jah for guidance as a soldier. Maybe you know a lot of things, but you will never know the truth until the day when you know Jah. Tell them we not no problem, cause we are life king. So when I rise, I give Jah thanks to the uprising. Obstacles always gonna be there, so they always will appear. Make sure your eyes them warm so you recognize him. God know me nah no fear for them, to them I'm fearless. Cause Jah never left none of my to them careless. That's the man too firm, Babylon nah learn. So we are gonna move them out like a deer lift. We charted through the darkest valley and we still no fear no shadow. Live it today so we are prepared for tomorrow. No few no one be themselves. Everybody now go lead, but be careful who you follow. Yeah.
Pestilence lurks in dark places, but I will fear no evil. Destruction walk with smiling faces, still I will fear no evil. Don't you know? Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide, Jah guide. Right through this valley, and I know I'm walking up the streets now, and I know I'm smoking up my calling, smoking my calling.
This song is dedicated to all the mothers all over the world. We are your children, and we are your grandchildren too. Yeah. Many of us are great grands, and God knows we love you. You see, it comes from the heart, and I pray that the good Lord answers all of my prayers. See, it comes from the heart, and I pray that the good Lord will grant your every wish. Happy birthday, mother. Happy birthday, mother. Happy birthday, mother. Happy birthday to you. You are the mother of love. You bring all the boys and girls into the world. Your work has no ending, so I want you to enjoy this special day. You see, it comes from the heart, and I pray that the good Lord answers all of my prayers. You see, it comes from the heart, and I pray that the good Lord will grant your every wish.
Sunday and